Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Rosiati and together with me, my group partner Hani and Muzaffar, we are proud to present our study entitled Investigating the Relationship Between Mekar Business Equipment Assistant and Income Increase, an impact analysis of B40 entrepreneur in Batu Pahat, Johor. Before we begin, I would like to highlight that the findings we are sharing today are based on real-world data collected from actual program participants at Yayasan Sejahtera, the organization where I work. For context, Yayasan Sejahtera is a foundation dedicated to eradicating poverty and uplifting B40 communities across Malaysia through economic empowerment and sustainable development. This specific study focuses on Mekar program participants in Batu Pahat, Johor. The Mekar program provides business equipment worth 3,000 to each entrepreneur, customers customized according to their business needs. In, it, in addition, participants receive structured training in business management, financial literacy, and marketing. For this study, we adopted retrospective study design analyzing 113 entrepreneurs over a 17 months period to identify the actual impact of the program on participants' incomes and livelihood. To clearly understand our analysis, the study is divided to three phases. First, the baseline phases, which represent the participant income before joining the MECAR program, measure in month 1 period to any training or assistance. Second, the pre-assistant phase covering months 2 to 6, where participants are joining the program and complete entrepreneurship training but had not yet received business equipment. And the third, the post assistant phase covering months 7 to 17, which represent the critical period after the business equipment was fully deployed and actively utilized in their businesses. As we can see in our poster, the objective of this study are first to measure the total income increase after the participant receive business equipment and training. Second, to determine whether participants remain in the V40 category or successfully move out to validate and the third is to validate the statistical reliability of the observed income growth. And we're moving to the next section, section B. As we, as we can see in the bar chart and graph, the result reveal clear a powerful upward trend in earning capacity among program participants. The mean monthly income increased from 1,257 at the baseline stage before joining the program to 3,629 in the post-assistant phase. This, this represents a 189% total income increase, demonstrating that the Mekar assistant effectively help our Yayasan Sejahtera participant move beyond their initial financial constraints. Based on the 2022 Department of Statistics Malaysia income threshold, we found that 15.9% of participants successfully exceeded the B40 category. Specifically, 14 entrepreneurs moved into the M40 income group while the 4 participants reached the T20 tier. This outcome indicated not only income growth but also meaningful to socio-economic mobility among participants as a direct result of the program intervention. I will now pass the presentation to Muzaffar, who will future explain in the income distribution and variability observed in our data.
Thank you, Rosie. So this is a plot to basically show the same thing that Rosie mentioned, but in a histogram and also a box plot manner. So first of all, we have the histogram here, and what we can see, as Rosie mentioned, the mean started from 1,257 and go up to 3,266. So it's very big jump in terms of the mean average income from before receiving the funding and after receiving the funding. But we can also see that the standard deviation also increased quite high from 830 ringgit to 3,300 ringgit. So what that shows is that there's a big spread in terms of some of the participant able to go very high in terms of their income, while other is the increase is not that high. And you can also see from here the blue color bars, which represent the outliers, and then there's a positive skew to the post-funding blue curve. So the long tail highlight that the program is capable of helping exceptional or introducing exceptional entrepreneurial scaling. And then another view that we have here is the box plot, which is almost the same thing, but the difference is now we plot based on the median. And as we know, the median is not affected by the outlier, but still we can see that the median income from baseline to post-funding increased by 1,600 ringgit. So it still show a clear upward trend even if we use a median measurement. And you can also see the spread increase in terms of the box width from baseline to post-funding has become thicker. So that shows that there is a higher spread. And also there's a lot more outlier for the post-funding box plot, where we can see that there are people who has moved to the 4 people who have moved to T20, as what Rosie has mentioned, and also people who are earning around 5,000 to 10,000, which are also considered an outlier in this plot. So next, I will pass over to Hani to talk about hypothesis testing.
Thank you, Muzaffar and Rosie. Okay, next we do the hypothesis testing to evaluate the impact of the project. We conduct a PET t-test to compare participant income before and after the program. Our result provided overwhelming evidence to reject the null hypothesis because the p-value is approaching zero. And we can confirm the increase in income was statistically significant. Furthermore, looking at the confidence interval, we can confidently state that the average participant have increased their income by at least 1.5K. This confirms that the program has successfully improved the participants' income. Next is about the linear regression. We perform the linear regression to identify the relationship between pre and post income after the MERCA program. From our regression model, we identify that the R squared is very low. It means that the income might be not highly correlated with the program. But in this case, we can conclude that the income of the participant is not solely dependent on the financial assistance provided. It also accompanied with their own effort. In overall, we identified that the model is significant because the p-value is less than 0.01 and then f-stat is 25.32. We can also conclude our model significant when we test the beta naught coefficient using the t-stats. We identified the value is less than 0.01. So our beta 1 also significant. After that, we create our null hypothesis, which is baseline income does not predict post-funding. And then our H1 is baseline income would predict the post-funding income. And our conclusion is our model is significant, and then the p-value is less than 0.01, so that there is strong evidence that the starting income significantly influenced the final outcome income. That's it.
Okay, now we move on to the Monte Carlo simulation session. And Monte Carlo simulation is based on the growth histogram. So initially, if you remember, the income increased from 1,002 to 3,003, something like this. So that is a mean increase of 2,000 ringgit. So from that, we simulate 10,000 data points, and we create a new histogram. And this is to check the reliability of the income growth. Um, is it very strong, and what is the variability? And we use the Monte Carlo to analyze that. And what we can see is that the mean is still at 2,000 ringgit as expected, because that's what we put into the model. But what we can get is the lower and upper confidence interval. From here, we can see that minimally, the participant of Mecca, if let's say 10,000 people achieve, 95% confident that the increase in income will be minimally 1,416 ringgit. And then it can go up to 2,600 ringgit. And we can also simulate using Monte Carlo in another way in terms of probability. So now we do a probability simulation, also using 10,000 simulation, but this time we simulate the probability of what's the probability of their income growing by 50%. So if they started off with a 1,000 ringgit income, they go up to 1,500 ringgit. What is the probability of the increasing their income to by 50%? And from that simulation, what we can get is actually 66%, or 2 out of 3 participants is expected to grow their income by more than 50%. And then also the other thing you can see is that the spread is quite narrow, and which means that we have quite a low uncertainty, and implying that the program has a very high likelihood of delivering increase in income gains. So finally, I will pass back to Rosie for the conclusion session.
Okay, thank you, Muzaffar. To conclude, the MECAR program demonstrated substantial and statistically significant income growth among V40 entrepreneurs. Our retrospective analysis, supported by Monte Carlo simulation, confirmed the robustness of this growth, showing a near zero probability of negative mean income outcomes, like Muzaffar mentioned just now. While upward mobility may be gradual for participants starting from very low pre-program income levels, our distributional analysis indicated that the program raised the overall income flow while also enabling accelerate growth for higher performing entrepreneurs. Overall, this finding confirmed that MECAR program effectively increase income and support socioeconomic mobility. The target provision of business equipment combination with entrepreneurship and technical training is shown to be a reliable and sustainable mechanism for income uplift. This study provides strong empirical support for future poverty alleviation initiative to adopt similar integrated intervention model in order to sustainable enhance economic outcomes in low income community. That's all from us. Thank you.